Shalom, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakadash, and double honor to the apostles, all bishops and brothers from Dunga Great Millstone. Salutations to the whole elect. This is your brother Rai Banyamian here to share another lesson. And title of this lesson, man, is Jake Still Trust in This Devil. Inspiration for that title and for this lesson came, when I was just thinking about how much, the MOTB is in the news, both mainstream and international news, and how Jake, trusts in the comforts and security, of the society. When you check back, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, when they had the pandemic and the juice was offered to them, a lot of Jakes, regardless of warning, they went ahead and take it. So can you imagine if it did not have the prophets warning them, if it didn't have these Edomite whistleblowers warning them, these so-called physician doctors that was running tests and warning the people, Jake would have went in higher numbers to go and take the juice. Now, when they instituted, the juice to be taken in order to, keep your jobs, keep your homes, so on and so forth. Jake welcomed it, man. You know what I'm saying? Jake didn't give it, no thought. So can you imagine, like I said, there were workarounds. You could have found another job. Certain brothers' jobs didn't have to wear a mask. It was like a regular day to them. So some, brothers were able to find out a job through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But this new thing that's coming, the MOTB, every man, woman, and child is going to be tested, man. There'll be no walk around for the carnally minded. Only the elect will not take the MOTB. And even they will be tried and tested, because they'll be always from society. They'll be looked down upon, especially when the majority of people has taken it, your family, your friends, your loved ones, people who you're good with, you're close with, take it, and they're looking at you, wondering, what's wrong, what's going on, So you'll be ostracized, you'll be separated, just as, with the C-19, my neighbor, he told me specifically that he did not allow his unjuiced family to come to gatherings, man. So can you imagine when the MOTB is instituted? We're already living in a time where people is extremely selfish, self-centered. They have a love for self, man. So that separation is going to be greatly shown and stuff in these last days. So I ain't gonna ramble on much longer, man. I just wanna share a few scriptures pertaining to the trust or the hold Jake has in the society and this devil, and to cause you to also separate yourself from this world, man. That goes to show they're selling you information. You know how much spam calls I get, no matter how much numbers are blocked. But this place is going down, man. Trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and put your faith in him, so that he will be a God unto your life and direct your steps in these last days. So the first portion of scripture I'm going to grab real quick is in the book of Isaiah. The 31st chapter and the first verse. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt, not a literal land, but spiritual Egypt, right? Egypt at the time was known for their military might, right? You know, they had the chariots, you know, they had the horsemen, they had the wealth, they had the gold, you know what I'm saying? They had, you know, prosperity, especially when, you know, Joseph, you know, was there during the time of the famine, you know. She says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, right? And in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord, right? Which is Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Now, America, Babylon, you know what I mean, they engulf that saying. So it says they trust in them, they trust in chariots, right? You know, the military might of the US military, right? You know, they got the guns, they got the different missiles, they got those supersonic jets, those hypersonic jets that you know, could shoot a missile at land, and you know what I mean, you ain't even know what direction and stuff it's coming from, you know what I'm saying? You know, because they are very strong. So even though this current military, especially with the recruits, are in a weaker state, is still a superpower, still, you know, a strong nation, right? Food here is cheaper than a lot of countries. You know, even though you have, you know, a lot of Americans or Babylonians, you know, complaining, you know, about the high cost of living, the high cost of rent, you still have foreigners that come here that where, you know, where things are a lot more expensive. They would say that, man, you all got it good here. The food and stuff is cheap. You know what I mean? So to them, you know what I mean, it looked like you know, a very strong and stable place where it could plant your roots, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. You know what I mean? But they don't know if they stay here long enough, then that veil over their eyes would be removed with how crappy this place is, man, and that it is going down. You understand? This is why we need to seek Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which is the Holy One, you know what I'm saying, you know, of Israel. Because all these things can fail. Right? It says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. So the Most High can raise up, you know, kings and nations and make the nation great, and he could also bring them down. So would you worship the person that is raised up, or would you worship the one that raised up the king or the person and stuff in power? So we need to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, right? So this is why we need to look unto the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And I'll follow it up in the book of you know, Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 2. It says, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the heart, right? The mind. The Lord searcheth the mind, right? So, you know, you have Jake here. You have a lot of Israelite communities. You know, they would they would buy these land, you know, and create these communities. You know, they have cucumbers growing on one side. They have apples, you know what I mean, so on and so forth. They got a well for water just in case, you know what I mean, famine hit, right? They got weapons. They got training for those weapons, just in case outsiders come to take, you know what I'm saying, what they have. And this is considered right in their own way. Why? Because they put their trust deep down. Yeah, they might call upon the Lord. And most Israelites that do this thing, they call him either Yahshua or Jesus, man. You know what I'm saying? To make it look like, well, we trust in God first, but really they trust in the power of their hand, and that seems right to them, right? Know that, hey, there's nothing wrong with, you know, you're planting things, especially with the fruits and stuff, because even when you go to the grocery or the health food store, you know, it might say you know, certified organic and all this other stuff, but it's GMO stuff, man. So if you could grow your own food, you know, to eat healthier, you know, because our people, they suffer with many illnesses, you know, diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis, you know, are real problems, man. So, you know, I mean, if you could do for yourself and plant some fruits and vegetables, there's nothing, there's nothing, wrong with it. No one is holding you from doing it, but it's putting your trust and stuff in it. All right, so we are not to put, our trust in these things, but only in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? You don't want to be deceived when, see what it says, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, and that's where the spirit of deception could fall upon you. If you put your 100% faith, and trust in these things. Yeah, son, which we ought to separate, ourselves. And the last portion of scripture I want to share, still in Proverbs, I'm going to read 20, and 24. It says, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So, these men that do these things, that put, their faith in America, hoping, for reparations and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? The Most High is controlling them, and he's also controlling the men with the truth. The men at Great Millstone, starting with the elder apostles, elder bishops, and those that have entered into these men's labors, right? The babes of the truth. You understand? So, I just wanted to share this quick lesson, man, that was on my mind, And another thing that, I thought about that, pushed Jake to trust in this place. I remember years ago when they had this TV show called MTV Cribs. You had Jake showing, his house. He got a pool, that you could swim in. He also have a pool table. He has a little mini cinema, big screen with some chairs. He got some family friends that could come over. He has a few motorcycles. He has some nice cars. He show you his room, how big his room is. The majority of us, Jake, we don't know anything about luxury. We don't know anything about really nice cars. You understand? Some, rappers, they might have a private jet. You know what I'm saying? You go outside, you're seeing palm trees and all of that. Nice blue sky, a nice cool breeze hits you as soon as you come outside in your Porsche. The air smell nice. You know what I'm saying? You're looking good, You got good food. A lot of us, Jake, we don't know about that. So a lot of Jake, were enamored by that. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? If they could get, these great things, why can't I? So you would have, a lot of Jakes, they want to be a rapper, they want to be an R&B, artist. But little did Jake know at the time, before all these things were revealed, on the internet, that those houses were not owned by those particular individuals. It was owned by somebody else. The house was set up to make it look like they actually had these things. You understand? And then on the flip side of it, they had to do wicked things. They had to do wicked things to get past a certain level, and they had to say wicked things. Promoting adultery, sleeping with your brothers, woman, right? All these things, man, which cause a dislike or a war between the sexes, right? And no one wanted to create families, man, which breeds destruction in the community. So even to this day, you still have a lot of chicks that still want to enter into the rap game. They know that the industry is fake. They know that they give more of themselves versus what they bring in, right? I think Haggai, the first chapter, goes into that. You sow much but bring in little, and that applies to the lowly men working these 9-to-5 jobs, or those of us, who may have a degree or certification in some, and those that are multi-million that is making money. You know what I'm saying? They take more from us. This society under Esau Edom takes more from us. You understand? And we receive little, you know what I'm saying, in return. And this is why, we trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for one, our daily bread, You understand? I'm not worrying about, what is going on, what is for tomorrow. We trust in the Most High to handle that for us. So like I said, even in these days, Jake knows. It's not hard to look it up. The prophets are talking about it, and then you have these whistleblowers are talking about, how these rappers and stuff, they made these sacrifices and stuff to get past a certain point. And even Dave Chappelle, he mentioned that too as well. So Jake knows this, and Jake still wanna enter into this crafty contract, right, with Esau to say and do evil things for a small piece of change. You know what I'm saying? So trusting Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. You know what I mean? And may He direct your path. So I just wanted to share this real quick through the Spirit. Lord willing, it was the final elect. And until the next time, Shalom.